Hey everyone, it's Ethan Ormes back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for some more CDL pick'em predictions. We're actually doing this week's on time, which is nice. So let's get into it. Also, first of all, I just want to let you guys know if you hear any background noise like that, because I'm positive you guys can hear that through my ceiling. I live in the basement, and my dogs currently are both playing with bones, so yeah, apologies. But nonetheless, let's talk about today's games and this weekend's games. We have some really fun ones, of course. The last week of or not really bracket play, but I guess group play. Before we head into Major 3 in Toronto next weekend. Kind of sad. I plan on going to it, then my plans got canceled, and then I plan on going to it again with some different people, and then I got canceled again, so unfortunately I'm not going to be going to it. So looking to maybe go to New York or either Champs this year. Hopefully, I really want to, but nonetheless, let's talk about it. So predictions for today. Now, starting it off, we've got Toronto versus Paris. Could be a fun match. Overall, I'm going to give the edge to Toronto. I mean, Paris hasn't looked all that bad, I don't find. I mean, they just are a step below pretty much everyone in the league, unfortunately, though. I think it's a big tier gap from 12th to 11th, and I don't even know who is 11th right now. Probably the Gorillas, I guess. But the Gorillas, I believe, at least won a series, right? Yeah, the Gorillas ended up beating Paris. Of course, it was relatively close. Of course, going the map 5 distance. I don't think it'll be a 3-0. I could even see it being a 3-2, to be honest. I think I'll give it 3-2 to Toronto. I could definitely see Paris winning one hard point, maybe squeaking map 2. I'm not sure. Nonetheless, overall, I do think Toronto wins that, and I don't think that's much of a hot debate. But of course, the last time these two teams played, Toronto lost, so who knows. Then we've got a very interesting match between two very interesting teams, between Florida and Seattle. I don't really know which way I want to go this way, or go for this. Like, you look back at last week, Seattle, of course, 3-0'd the Thieves. The Rocker kind of got bodied, the Mutineers kind of got bodied by the Rocker, and the Mutineers kind of bodied the Gorillas, but that wasn't really too surprising there. Then you look at the week before. I mean, Seattle loses to Toronto. Florida, unsurprisingly, loses to Optic. So it's hard to say, really. I don't really know where I put both of these teams. They've both had their ups and downs. So I think it probably goes the distance to 5. But who do I have more faith in map 5? I'm thinking Seattle, probably. So I think I'll give the edge to Seattle, which is really upsetting because, of course, Florida just placed, top 4 at Major 2, their best placing of the year, and it's been their best placing since MW. So I'd like to give this team the benefit of the doubt, but unfortunately, I just think the Surge are better right now. So continuing on, we have Atlanta versus Minnesota, and if Minnesota wins this series, they go 5-0 through group play or the qualifiers. Not group play. I keep saying group play. Wait, yeah, group play. Yeah, sorry. Nonetheless, through the qualifiers, which honestly I think is possible. I really do think it is possible for Minnesota to go 5-0. Will they be able to? I don't know. Of course, Atlanta is a tough opponent. And overall, I mean, I think I'll give map 1 to Atlanta. Map 2 and 3 to Rocker. Probably map 4 to Atlanta. I mean, I could see either Minnesota winning 1 and 2 or 1 and 3. 1 and 2 or 2 and 3, sorry, is what I meant, sorry. Honestly, I think I'm going to give it to Minnesota. I do. I think I'm going to give it to Minnesota, and we shall see how that looks. I have 3 Game 5s today. It's very possible that none of these series go to Game 5, but I think they're all kind of close. Of course, Toronto is still struggling in respawns. Seattle and Florida, I think that could be a very even series, and same thing for Minnesota and Atlanta. So moving on to tomorrow's matches, or Saturday's matches, we have Atlanta versus the LA Gorillas. Don't think there will be much competition in that series. Unfortunately, the Gorillas just look like a completely different team than they did a month ago. Although maybe they have some of that magic still from Major 2 to take out Atlanta, but I don't see it, to be honest. And then we've got Toronto versus London again. Of course, we had this not very long ago, back in Major 2. I am going to give the edge to Toronto again. They've impressed me since the start of this since the start of these qualifiers. I really didn't expect them to be playing as well as they are. So who knows what'll happen? I mean, they're currently what is it? They are what 2-1? Yeah, 2-1 right now, with the only loss coming to the Rocker, which is arguably the best team in the league right now. London hasn't looked that great, so I am going to give the edge to Toronto. I think I'm going to do it in 4 games, though. I don't know. I feel like that'll be a bit of a cleaner series than against Paris for some reason. Then we move on to Boston versus LAT, which are, again, 2 teams in very interesting spots. Boston doesn't look bad, but they definitely don't look as good as they once did not long ago. And, I mean, yeah, I don't know. The Thieves look absolutely horrible, so I am going to give the edge to Boston, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Thieves take a map. Then we have Optic in the main event versus the Subliners, which will be a really fun series. I would say the best team in the league still of Optic, but I am going to give New York a map. And this is the first time we get to see Krim versus Scump in a long time, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my god, sorry. So that'll be fun. I'm very excited for that match tomorrow night. And then for Sunday, we have London versus Seattle, which will be a fun one as well. I'm going to give the edge to Seattle. Yeah, I don't really have much faith in London right now. They don't look very great at all. Then continuing on, we have Florida versus Boston, and I think Boston will get the revenge over Florida. I think it'll be a relatively close series. I could see it being a 1 round of search, 1 round of control, 20, 30 points in hardpoint. I think it'll be a very close series, and I think the first 2 matches from Sunday could really go either way, but I'm going to give it to Boston. And then for the main event of the qualifiers and the main event of this weekend, we have Optic versus LAT, which I think will be a stomping. Yeah, I just don't think it'll be very close. So overall for this weekend, I have Toronto going 2-0. I have Paris going 0-1. I have Florida going 0-2. I have Seattle going 2-0. Atlanta going 1-1. Minnesota going 1-0, LAG going 0-1, London Royal Ravens going 0-2, the Boston Breach going 2-0, the LA Thieves going 0-2, Texas Optic going 2-0, New York Subliners going 1-0, and I believe that is it. Yes, so let me know what your guys' predictions are for this weekend. Again, we have some really fun matches. I'm super excited for Toronto versus Paris and Toronto versus London, of course, basically the battle of EU for both of those series. Minnesota and FaZe will probably be a banger. I'm really excited to watch Boston and LAT. Optic versus New York is also probably going to be a banger. Boston versus Florida, a banger. And Texas versus LAT, of course, Thieves versus Optic, always a banger. So let's save the predictions. And there we go, guys. My predictions are locked in. So thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. Again, let me know your predictions for this week's qualifiers. And we're almost at Major 3. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.